Hey, what's up? This is Laidback Luke, DJ and producer, Kung Fu athlete, and family guy. And I want to tell you about this amazing night I had last night in New York where I played strictly techno for 2 hours long. It still feels very incredible to me how my music travels across the world while it's just basically made inside my brain, through my laptop, and then through digital channels where it can touch people's lives. This weekend reminds me of the first time I actually came and played in the United States. This was back in 1997 when I was booked for a techno gig in a big New York warehouse. Today I'm back in the United States playing my first time in New Orleans. In this vlog I will be taking you through a little bit of a history lesson. Dude, weren't you into house music? Nah, I'm into techno now. See, I realized it would be so awesome to give you like a nice view of the front of the building, but we always go into the back. So it's a little bit wet out in New Orleans, and somehow people stay in when it rains. I enjoy playing EDM now. Oh, you're probably in it for the money. Although a lot of people right now know me as this EDM DJ guy, I started my producing career actually making very housey stuff. I was very much influenced by MK's sound, who in the beginning of the 90s was already doing this deep and housey type of vibe. So in 1995 I released my first house record and slowly got more and more into techno. My third release was on the label of DJ Ski and Dobra, who you now know as Chocolate Puma, but back then they had this awesome techno label called Touche. And it's funny, it was only this week that I saw a tweet come by from Tiga diving into his record collection and saying how awesome my old releases were. And then I had Adam Beyer reacting on that, saying that he brought this vinyl of mine to his first show ever, which was at Tiga's club, and he had such fond memories of it. As an up-and-coming artist and DJ, I came up with guys like Adam Beyer, Marco Carola, and Umek. Aren't you happy you're a successful techno DJ? Let's start this career all over. So it is safe to say my techno career really took off, and I had a really good momentum going, and I had a good international career doing shows around the world. And it was only the late 90s that I broke through into the Netherlands as a techno DJ as well, playing at the prestigious festival called Awakenings. And after my first show there, I became a resident. So more and more I got forced to try and produce more and more techno. And this was super hard for me because I come from a really musical family. Due to my Filipino roots that are quite cheesy and karaoke and ballad orientated, and also my Dutch musical background, I grew up playing the piano and the guitar. It was very tough for me to only start creating loops, the typical techno loops. I love that poppy sound and singing along. Come to the dark side, Luke. And I found myself mostly only programming drums and just bits and bobs of sounds. If I would try and add vocals or chords or melodies in there, it wasn't techno anymore. And actually, this fell together with my first burnout. And it was such a horrible time for me. At a certain point, I couldn't produce any music anymore. And so in the beginning of the 2000s, I came to a crossing point. I came to a point where I really wanted to stop producing and to stop DJing. I couldn't do it creatively as an artist anymore, and techno was honestly killing me. So it's really easy to say that I chose for the big money, quitting with techno, but that wasn't true at all. So I had quite the successful international career going, and actually the big moneymaker in the early 2000s was trance music. EDM didn't exist yet, and so by changing my style I took a really huge leap, and it took me a couple of years to actually start making money again. But the good thing was, as an artist, I gave myself the total freedom for creativity. And this time around, I allowed myself to totally make anything I wanted, to add vocals, to add melodies. And this actually resulted in me making electro clash type of tracks. Now, I always had the mindset to try and make music that would touch a lot of people, because I found my music is worth reaching out to a lot of people. Music can give people amazing memories. Music can give people inspiration. Music can bring people together, and it's about positive vibes, and why not try and reach as many people as you can? And surely enough, my music won. My music became EDM music, and it got bigger than trance music, and it got even bigger than hip-hop and R&B. I always still kept up with the underground, and I never lost my love for listening to techno music and occasionally secretly making a techno track. And so for me, it's a very nice variation to be able to play main stage type of sets, but then also come back to the underground. This happened in New York last night, and I was so happy with this opportunity. And it felt like back in the old days where I was this young kid playing these raging techno type of tracks and just taking people into a world of underground energy, so to say. I want to play an all techno set. Sounds like you have something to prove. I don't really have to prove anything right now after my 20 years of DJ career. It's really just only for the fun and for the variation. I have the luck that I really like a lot of musical genres, from trap to underground to ambient to pop stuff to rock stuff. And so why limit yourself? The bottom line is that you don't eat the same dish every single day. And with that variation, it stays fun, it stays exciting, and this is what keeps me going. I am so happy I could explain this to you, and I hope I made a little bit of sense, and now you know. And so what puzzles me is, why is there such a divide in underground music versus overground music? Why do these two things need to be separate, and why can't you enjoy both? What do you think? Leave it in the comments. Next week I have something exciting for you. Give me a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to my channel, because I will be mixing my end of the year mix live for you. Make sure to check it out next week. Keep it locked here on The True Story and Real Life.